had to stop and admire the tall canyon walls. The tough volcano rock is soft and pockmarked with hundreds of eroded cavities or cavities. It is so peaceful with only the birds singing, people talking softly in the distance, and an occasional horn honking in the visitor parking lot. After entering through the narrow opening from the south, I paused to admire an old mono stone resting on a matati. I can imagine groups of women sitting there grinding corn, and talking, laughing, and singing as they worked. Beyond the plaza of the great house, Courtney, the remains of the Talus House that were once built next to the canyon in front of the cavities can be seen. The representative of the cavity, the subterranean kiva, rests quietly in the plaza. As early as 10,000 years ago, nomadic hunters followed game into this canyon and camped in the naturally formed cavities. The soft volcanic rock, pockmarked by millions of years of erosion, provided perfect caves where hunters and their families could find shelter. Around 1150, the ancestral Pueblo people moved into the canyon and planted corn, beans, and squash, and added permanent stone houses to the front of the cavities. Some of the cavities are quite large. In many, the floors were leveled and plastered over. The natural doorways were often reduced and squared with stone and mortar. The walls were often plastered over and painted after being smoothed and hollowed out. The soot-covered ceilings testify to the use of fires inside the cavity. These fires were sometimes placed near vents chiseled into the wall near the door. Typically, the rooms in the Longhouse were built 2 deep from the walls and 3 high along the back. Note the many smaller holes in the face. Too small for vigas to hold up a ceiling. They were probably for a covered porch. Petroglyphs are chiseled into the canyon face above the top floors. Maybe children or adults would sit atop the building and doodle while they rested. There are 13 groups of talus villages in the Frijoles Canyon, the largest being Hewitt's Group D, which has approximately 216 first-story rooms. It appears to have been the more accessible of the cliff homes when compared to the other cliff sites in the canyon. The cliff wall still has the viga holes, delineating a continuous group of houses from 1 to 4 stories in height, extending along the cliff for 700 feet. It was a natural progression for the agrarian occupants to eventually build a great house down in the valley. The talus houses may have remained the primary residences, with the great house providing a community center and storage facilities. And traders may have stayed in the great house when they came to exchange goods. Along the face of the canyon wall, you can see the remnants of what is today known as the Longhouse. Originally, the Longhouse was 3 stories high, and the holes where the ceiling timbers were embedded still remain. The cavities that continued to be utilized in the back of the rooms still have signs of the paint that was on their walls. Formerly known as Ceremonial Cave, Alco House is located 140 feet above the canyon floor and requires you to climb 4 wooden ladders and a number of stone stairs to reach the site. In Alco House, there is a reconstructed kiva and the viga holes and niches of former homes where about 25 people could have lived. It sort of reminds me of the cliff dwellings at Mesa Verde, Colorado, on a much smaller scale. Right after our visit, Alco House was closed so that reconstruction work could be done on the kiva. It would have provided residents with a panoramic view and safety, but what a climb to have to make every day.